Hello everyone, my name is Aiden and welcome back to another draft prospect videos for the Chicago Bulls. With the 12th overall pick, the Bulls have a chance to select someone that could be game changing for their NBA season next season. With that being said, we have been talking about quite a few prospects. Some of them I'm not actually that intrigued in at the moment, but this player might change that, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I'm going to try and say his name correctly, hopefully. I want to talk about Newell from Georgia. Ultimately, a player that once again is a center, so I know a lot of people are going to be very happy I'm talking about a center, ladies and gentlemen. But the way that I view him, I'm very intrigued. And this could be the player that I feel could take the Chicago Bulls to the next step. Can it be done? We'll have to figure it out. But before we get any further, if you enjoyed the video and you want to see more from me, drop a like, drop a follow, and or subscribe if you are new. And let me know in the comments below whether or not you believe Newell will be the Chicago Bulls pick. Maybe favorite pick? Will he come down to the Bulls? Would you select him if he's available? All these questions, let me know in the comments below. But he does play for Georgia. He's 19 years of age. He's a forward slash center. Got to keep that in mind. He's 6'11" as well, so he's a big player. And ultimately, I mean, Vucevic is 6'11". I'm just gonna put it out there. You know, everybody's saying we need a 7-footer. Vucevic, our current center, is 6'11". I know they say he's 7 foot tall. He's 6'11". I don't care what anybody says. He's 6'11". Let's move on. His averages for this season is 15.4 points per game, 6.9 rebounds, 0.9 assists, and he shoots 54.3% from the field. Unfortunately, not a great 3-point percentage for Georgia this season at 29.2% from the 3-point line. Now, you might be looking at that and saying, well, what's the difference between this player and other players that I may have talked about, like a Derek Queen, for example? I talked about his lack of 3-point shooting, and obviously 29.2% isn't great either. What's the difference there for him? Well, a couple of things. This is why it's important to read things and to watch videos and everything in between. Firstly, let's talk about some strengths with Newell, and that is obviously the ability to play both power forward and center, but his offensive skill set, it still needs work, definitely, but I see the potential, at least, in his offensive skill set. I see a potential in his ability to finish around the rim. I see his potential with his ability to absorb contact and be more physical and get to the line and all these things. I see that potential in him. And I see a potential in his ability to shoot the 3-ball. A little bit more of that potential than I do see with maybe a Derek Queen per se, or anybody else that I've talked about. The reason why is I read a stat saying that yes, he did shoot 29.2% from 3 in Georgia, but the season before that, I think it was in high school, he shot 45% from the 3-point line. Now, high school doesn't necessarily mean anything, but at least it brings promise that there is something there for him. There is something there for, I guess, the 3-point shooting. And maybe with the right development, which we need to keep persisting, we need to have the right development in place. I think there's a potential for him to be, I guess, a Vucevic replacement. I could see the potential for him being a 3-point shooter in this league. That's all I'm going to say. 29%, yes, it's not great, but I see the potential. And his defensive potential, in my opinion, is going to be very important also. And that's where he really does shine. That's what he's probably known for the most. His ability to finish around the rim, but also his defensive capabilities as well. Some weaknesses to his game. Well, as much as I see the potential in his 3-point shooting, harsh reality is, at this current time, he's not a great 3-point shooter. I don't necessarily think he's a great rebounder for his size as well. I mean, I know he's a forward slash center, but 6.9 rebounds per game. I mean, I would like to see that boosted up at the NBA level. And with his physicality obviously not going to be there straight away, I do question whether or not he'll be grabbing a big chunk of boards. Now, for the Bulls side of things, I mean, we do have guards that like to help out on the glass. We've got Josh Giddey averaging triple-doubles. Kobe White is not afraid to, jump in on the glass as well. Matas Bazelis is getting better at it. So, yeah, we do have players that can kind of cover up for that weakness at the moment, but I would struggle. I think it would be a struggle for him at the NBA level getting rebounds at this point in time, and I'd like to see that improved over the next few years if he was to be a Chicago Bulls player. So with that potential that he has offensively, with the defensive capabilities he has at this point in time, and not to mention the ability over the years to get more physical in this league, I think this is probably the best draft prospect I've talked about with the 12th overall pick at this time. I do worry that he would go ahead and he won't get selected at 12. I think he would end up, he could potentially go in the top 10 and stuff of that nature. But at least it's a prospect that has a chance to fall to 12. So with that being said, the question we all need to ask, ladies and gentlemen, is should the Chicago Bulls take this player with the 12th overall pick in the NBA draft? Look, if you're looking purely based on forwards and centers, I think this has to be one of the more favorable prospects that you could think of at this point in time. And if that's your answer, then yes, I would most definitely be interested in taking Newell with the 12th overall pick in the NBA draft. I see the potential there. And I see someone that could be a game changer on the Chicago Bulls. And that's what we're looking for. And especially at that center position. We know Nikola Vucevic is not getting any younger. And we know there's a great chance he wants out of the Chicago Bulls next season. So that's very quick. You have to be prepared for things like this, and you need to find those potential replacements. I mean, I saw what the list of comparisons he was compared to was Jalen Smith, who's on the Bulls. You got even David Lee, which is crazy. I don't see David Lee in him personally, but maybe there's some attributes there that could remind you of a David Lee type of player. All in all, there's potential for him at the NBA level. There really is. And for the Bulls as well. We could potentially have a big man on our hands that could be a two-way big man. Someone that has the defensive capabilities now and has potential to grow his offensive capabilities in the future. I don't think that's someone you should be turning away from at this point in time. I know there are a lot of people saying we should kind of go someone that's ready right now, ready to make the impact right now, ready or not, here we come type of player, right? A lot of those players that are a little bit older in college maybe is more defined at this point in time, but maybe doesn't have that potential to grow once they're in the NBA. I see those players being good for contenders, and we're just not that. I want someone that's going to be game-changing for the Chicago Bulls. Maybe I'm throwing all my eggs in one basket here, but of all the players I've talked about, Newell, in my opinion, is my favorite at this point in time. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a wonderful and safe day. Keep your suggestions coming. I'm reading them. I feel like a lot of suggestions I'm getting are for our second round pick, which I haven't really talked about. I don't think I will be talking much about it. I'll kind of just let fate happen in that regard. But keep your suggestions coming for 12, whether it's a guard, a forward, a center, whatever. You let me know. I'd like to talk a little bit more about them. It takes time making these videos because I'm doing research and whatnot, and I'm not posting daily these days anymore. So I apologize if your suggestions are coming in late or maybe they're not being read at all. I will try my best. That's all I could say. Have a wonderful and safe day. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay tuned for more. Take care, and peace.